any questions about, you know, what I'm talking about with this, where we're headed with this? We're gonna create a picture of the types of relationships we want, and we're gonna start to, you know, put the bricks and the mortar in place so that we have those solid foundations. Question, Gina?
I just really want to support everything that you're saying with some research and validation.
Oh, please. Yeah, you're our local expert in relationships.
So, William Glasser, the person that I just spent the weekend with.
William Glasser. Okay. And who is he?
He's a psychiatrist who has created reality therapy.
Reality therapy.
Therapy was his expertise, and control therapy, and now his new theory is called choice theory. And he says everything you do is behavioral, and everything is a choice, from birth to death. It's all a choice. But he talks about the quality world, and what you want to do is find what the quality world is from your customer or client. And when you do that, you walk into a relationship that is based in a very solid connection. What's important to them, what in their world is significant. So what you're talking about has research behind it that validates the importance of finding not only what your own quality world is, but what is it that rolls their socks, melts their butter, raise their child, whatever it might be.
Right.
Really important, and that's where you build the relationship with, because when people know that you know that, they're very excited to have a relationship with you, because you're validated.
To even build on that, I'm reading a book on landing page optimization. So you think the web is a pretty impersonal place.
What's the book?
Landing page optimization? Or something like that. But in the beginning stages, you know, the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have done unto you, doesn't really matter. It should be do unto others as they'd have them do unto you. And if you can understand what they want you to do, and provide, you know, you walk into that relationship, if you can understand what they want, in a much better position. And even with your, you know, your website, if it's tailored to what they want and the relationship they want to have, but it's getting out of your shoes into theirs, and what do they really want out of it. I thought that was interesting.
And the name of the book again?
Landing page optimization.
I can't hear the first one.
Landing page optimization.
Landing page, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good light read.
Yeah.
Actually, man, I was hoping it'd be a little more interesting, but
So
good information.
there are some other relationships that we want to talk about before we finish the topic, though. Okay, and these are just as important as your core client or your A+ client relationships. Okay, and these are the relationships that you're going to have with your peers and your relationships with your business partners. And this is where so many businesses go awry. And they are, in many circumstances, the most important relationships next to who you chose as a spouse that you'll ever pick in your life, both personal and business. And people usually will treat them like they'll take them for granted, right? They will treat them worse than they would treat, you know, their clients, where you really need to reverse that whole process. And so in your if you don't have systems for things follow through the cracks. It's that simple. Remember, we talked about creating systems, and why we wanted to create systems was so that we could free up our energy, right? So that we don't have to think about what we need to do. We just have a list, and when we're in that mode, we just get that list done, and we make sure nothing falls through the cracks. And so again, this is one of those I'm giving you permission things. I'm giving you permission to make sure that you take care of your business partners, your peers in your industry, whoever they are, and of course your spouse. And you should have systems for making sure you get those things done. If you don't have the systems and you don't treat it with the same, you know, degree that you treat your clients, some strange things will happen. You know, your business partners and your spouse and your, you know, peers will get jealous of the time you spend with your clients. I know it sounds very strange, but it's true. And so you want to make sure that you have a special place reserved for those very important people, right? Now, it might sound strange that I would say peers, right? People in your business, but your relationship with your peers is incredibly important in the marketplace. They can end up, making your business incredibly easy, or they can make your business, very, very difficult, depending on what the relationship is, with your peers. In addition, it opens up all kinds of opportunities for you learning things, for you finding things out, in a timely manner. Masterminding, becomes a possibility with them on ways to be able to get things done. A whole different, world ends up opening up. We're going to talk about mastermind groups in another meeting. And we're going to talk about mentoring, as well. And those are other relationships that are incredibly important, and that we want to intentionally cultivate. You don't fall into these types of relationships, nor do you get this knowledge about your clients by accident. You have to seek out these relationships, otherwise they would never happen. And everything that we talked about today, what does it assume? Everything that we talked about today, what does it assume? Has a bunch of assumptions in it.
That you want to build a relationship.
That you care, right? That you want it, right? So if you're in a business that you don't want to be in, my suggestion is immediately leave, right? If you do not want to actually have a relationship with your clients, you don't think it's worth it, get into something that you do want to have relationships with, because you're going to forever be at a sort of a glass ceiling.
So with that being said, I think I heard something. I forgot how it went, but it actually says if you feel like you're going to work, it's probably, if you really feel like you're going to work and you're feeling it, you're probably in the wrong business, industry, or whatever.
Right.
And that's, I believe that.
Right. Yeah. You should have the experience of joy at some point in your business. It doesn't necessarily happen all the time, but you should feel like you're being used productively in your day, yes? So, I can't tell you that I'm always ecstatic about going to consult somebody that's going through a foreclosure. It's not always a happy circumstance. But I tell you, when I put my head on my pillow at night, I know I was used effectively that day in helping somebody. And that's really where it's at. That's where the rubber meets the road in all this. So,